Welcome back to Topic of Discussion. I am your host, Miles Berry. Welcome back to another episode where we speak on motivation. We speak on having a better life, a happier life. We're motivating people here. We're having a better day. We're changing our mindset, changing our perspective, and just moving forward in our life from a better position, a better place. So that's my goal. Every time I come on an episode, I speak to you guys, I speak to myself at the same time, and we just want to better ourselves. We want to change ourselves so we can change the world. We want to change ourselves for the better. Even if it's just for us, we want to change for the better, right? Okay? So today, for this episode, y'all gonna have to bear with me for a little bit because I am gonna explain some things. But today, we're gonna be speaking on the topic for today is self-altering ego. Again, self-altering ego. And along with this, we're gonna jump into pride, right? So I'm gonna try to tie everything all together, right? So let's understand what things are. So as I speak on them, we can be on the same page, right? So let's understand what just an ego is, right? Your ego is your conscious mind, the part of your identity that you consider yourself. If you say someone has a big ego, then you are saying he is too full of himself or she is too full of herself, right? So now, as we go into like an alter ego, right? An alter ego is a secondary self, an alternative personality or character that is different from an individual's usual identity, right? So, right? So, with that, now let's jump into pride so we can understand what that is. The feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own achievements, the achievements of those with whom is closely associated, or from qualities or possessions that are widely admired. One more definition of pride: a feeling of pleasure related to self worth and often derived from personal achievements, talents, desirables, possessions, or membership in the ethnic, religious, gender, social, political, or professional community. All right. One more time. Pride can be related to feelings of self respect, confidence, satisfaction, and self worth. Okay. Um, and then an example, right, is if you know someone with a negative kind of pride, you might notice that their pride makes it hard for people to like them, right? And pride can also refer to the standards that you have for yourself. Okay, so we're gonna kind of touch bases on both of those because I feel like they go together, right? Because you can have a self-altering ego, but at the same time you can be very prideful, and those two tie together, at least in my opinion, right? So let's go back to ego and how you can identify your ego. These are just a couple examples. Do you look for attention? Do you compare yourself to others? Have you ever not liked someone succeeding? Do you enjoy talking about people's imperfections? Have you ever looked down on someone for not trying as hard as you, right? Right? That's like you let your ego get involved, right? You let your ego get involved of who you are, right? Or how you think, or why you comparing yourself to others in that way, or why you trying to be bigger than somebody, why you trying to stand over somebody like you need to be on a pedestal, right? So sometimes in life, we try to basically be over other individuals in our life or other people that we feel like we're quote unquote better than. Why do we choose to look down on people? Y'all get what I'm saying? Why do we choose to look down on people and act like because people may not be on the same level, or maybe they didn't reach the same type of successes we did, or maybe because they just didn't get to this type of level yet, we look down upon them. We speak down on their name. We act like their mental and where they are mentally can't be the same where we are physically and mentally in that same position. Basically saying that just because you might be having better success than me, or you might be doing other things in your life, that doesn't mean my mental is not better than yours. That doesn't mean the way I think, the way I move is not better than you. I just haven't reached my success yet. And your ego is too big because you want to look down on me, and you just want to act like I'm non-existent, or you don't want to explain anything to me, or you just have too much of an ego, right? Right. So with that said, with that said, a lot of us have egos, right? And some of us just feel like we're too full of ourselves. Women, man, everybody as a whole. We have certain individuals that feel like you just got a big ego. Like you are just too full of yourself. You're just all about yourself. You don't think for others. You just, it's cool to put yourself first, but at the same time, at this point, you're not thinking of nobody else. But you got people that look up to you. You got kids that look up to you. You got all these people that look up to you as a father figure, a mother, um, a bit bro, a bit sis. You get what I'm saying? And your ego's too big to share knowledge. Your ego's too big to show them the way. Okay, maybe you went down certain paths in your life, and, and you didn't have to go down them. There was no need for you to go down those roads, right? But at the same time, you can help this person navigate their life so they don't make the same mistakes that you already did. Sometimes in life, we got to let people go on their own so they can make their own mistakes, because we're going to make our own mistakes in life. And sometimes it doesn't matter how many times somebody tells you, hey, look, you don't need to go down that road. I'm trying to tell you it's not good for you. I already been down that road when I was younger, or on my way up to my success or where I am now. It's not good for you. It's nothing down that road. And sometimes people just got to go down that road and see. You know what I mean? They might hear you, but they're not listening for real. They're not understanding the words that you say. So you just gotta let them go down that road. But at the same time, don't have an ego that's so big that you can't give knowledge, that you can't help along the way of other people's success. Don't put yourself on a pedestal and look down on us or look down on other people like they're peasants. You get what I'm saying? How you gonna look down on other people? Because people don't understand, the same way that you had to pave a way for yourself and get somewhere, the same way other people are trying to pave a way to get for themselves. So don't look down on people. Don't look down on people that are trying to succeed. Don't look down on people that are trying to pave a way for themselves the same way that you did. Right? So with that said, then we got the self-altering ego, right? And just as I was saying, the self-altering ego, that was my title, the self-altering ego. But the alter ego, it's like your secondary self, right? So I was saying it's a alternative personality or character that's different from an individual's usual identity, right? So another example of this in what's the word I'm looking for? Um an example of this in like a professional sense, right? Is Batman and Bruce Wayne. Okay? We're just gonna use that for example. Batman and Bruce Wayne. He's Batman, but at the same time, he's Bruce Wayne, right? He played two characters. He's Batman, but he's Bruce Wayne, right? And I want to use that example because sometimes in life, don't we play characters? Don't we wear the mask? I had another episode when I was talking about removing the mask. Don't we wear masks in life? Don't some people wear masks in life? So that's like two different people, right? And one of those people can alter the other people because you're being two different people. They're both you, but they're two different characters, right? So I remember in the last episode, if y'all haven't watched that, go check that out. But I'm talking about removing that mask, right? I'm trying to say remove that mask of the person of not who you are. Remove the mask of the person that's hiding their true emotions, their true identity, their true self, right? And I'm not saying, oh, okay, well, you can't have a self-altering ego or you can't be two people at one time. But I'm saying, again, when one of those characters is destroying your true identity, that's when it becomes a problem. So we're talking about your self-altering ego, right? The two versions of yourself, or however many that you have, but they're destroying your true identity, and that's when it's self-altering your life, right? Right? You're too full of yourself, right? That's where we're going back to ego. You're too full of yourself. You're too all about yourself. You're on a pedestal. You're looking down on other people like they're peasants, right? That's what I was saying, right? So that's your ego. You're too full of yourself. Then you have your self-altering ego when you're playing these different characters, but it's self-altering you because it's taking away your true identity. You're losing who you are. yourself and you're still this character, but this character is making you lose who you are as a person, lose your identity. So that's why I had went into that episode about removing the mask, because you can wear a mask, but at the same time, when you start to lose your true identity, or when you take that mask off to see another mask is on, that is an issue. That's not okay. That is not okay. And if you're living in that lifestyle and that's going on in your life, you need to change. You need to change, right? So I'm still trying not to make this video too long. So let's understand what pride is. As we already went over, right? The feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own achievements. A feeling of pleasure related to self-worth and often derived from personal achievements or talents, desirable possessions, or membership in an ethnic, religious, gender, or social, political, or professional community. Um, Pride. Sorry, I'm looking for one more definition. I'm just trying to find one more. Give me 1 second. Um, Pride can also be related to the feelings of self-respect, confidence, satisfaction, and self-worth, right? So pride can be good, but most of the time in our life we get too prideful. We have too much pride. You have too much pride. You have too much pride to take accountability. You have too much pride to apologize. You have too much pride because you don't want to change your ways, so you're going to end a good relationship. You have too much pride because you feel like if you do this and take the road to be successful, you're going to be looked upon a certain way. So you got too much pride, right? In life, we have too much pride. Why do we have so much pride to do the things that we want to do in our life? Why? Why? Why do we let pride stop us? Our pride kills us mentally and physically. Because one, it kills us mentally because we let it hold us back from so many things or moving forward in so many ways because, oh, you were so prideful. Why are you so prideful? Why are you so stuck in your ways that you can't take accountability for what you did and you know it was wrong? Why are you so prideful? Why are you so prideful that you don't want to change? Why? Why are you so prideful and you don't want to change? And you know it's a better version of yourself that's out there. There's better relationships that you could be having if you weren't so prideful, stuck in your ways, right? Having an ego because you're all about yourself. You're not thinking of other people's and I'm saying other people and you're being prideful, right? You're being prideful about your actions. You're being prideful. You're too prideful not to let go of the situation, right? So maybe somebody did you wrong, right? And maybe you're kind of confused on the situation, but at the same time, y'all talked about it. The other person took accountability and they apologized, right? Another example of pride is you're too prideful to accept the apology. Now, I'm not talking about something that's just crazy. I'm talking about something that was just like, okay, I did that. That's my fault. I apologize. I'm taking accountability and I would just like to move on. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I said something to you, rubbed you the wrong way. I'm taking accountability and I apologize for that. Okay. I can change the way I say things moving forward. Right? That's taking accountability. Right? And the person that they're saying that to can be too prideful. Like, no, I don't want to hear that. You hurt me. You know what I'm saying? You know I don't even like when you say things like that. So why would you even say that to me in the first place? That's saying that's being too prideful, okay? Because you cannot do that. Because one, you're gonna lose a lot of people, a lot of good people in your life, a lot of people that truly love you for you and accepting you for your flaws and your imperfections and everything that comes along with you, and you're too prideful. You're too prideful to accept that. You're too prideful of accepting people for who they are and people that are taking accountability for their life and the things that they said to you that hurt you or rubbed you in the wrong way that may not even really rub you in the wrong way, but you made it a whole big deal and then they're taking accountability, but you're too prideful. You're too prideful to let it go, right? So why do we let our pride hold us back from so much? Why do we let our pride get in the way of so much of the things that we do in life? I just want to know because it blows my mind how prideful individuals can be in our life and we act like we got it all figured out. We got it all figured out. Like, why are you being so defiant? Why are you being so stuck in your ways? Why are you acting like this? because a lot of us are prideful. So I'm speaking to y'all definitely. I'm speaking to myself. I'm speaking to myself as well, but I'm speaking to y'all because why do we act so prideful towards certain things and certain people that are in our life that love us for us, that always be around? Why are we being prideful? Why are we being stuck in our ways? Why are we pushing them away? Why are we doing them wrong? So I just want us to get better. I just wanted to explain that so we could kind of go over that. I'm not trying to make the video too long. It's already what, like 15 minutes. So yeah. So again, just going over everything just one more time. We have the ego. We move from the ego to self-altering ego, and we move to pride. And I said they all tie together because one, the ego, with you being too full of yourself and all about yourself, can become negative. Okay, everything is not negative because just because you have an ego, there's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing to feel powerful. It's nothing to feel all about yourself and know your self worth and everything. But it gets negative when you start again. When I was saying looking down upon other people or feeling like it's no one on your level, like you're God. Don't try to fill them shoes now. You're not. So that's when your ego gets in the way. Then you have the self-altering ego, right? When I say it's like two different characters, and I compare Batman to Bruce Wayne, right? They're two different characters, but it's the same person, right? And then I compared that to the episode I had of removing the mask. Don't lose yourself wearing the mask. So what I'm saying is, again, if you take that mask off and you have another mask on, then you need to remove the mask and you need to go find your true identity because at this point it has been lost. So your self-altering ego, if you're gonna do all that, just know who you are as a person. Don't lose your identity in the process of playing all these other characters and doing all these other things. Know who you are. Don't be all about yourself. Don't be selfish. And that um being selfish and everything along those lines, that's kind of how I transition over to pride. Because sometimes we can be too prideful, we can be too selfish, we can be too stuck in our ways to let things go or to move on or to take a chance. We got too much pride in our system in our life to do certain things. So that's why I say, please don't be too prideful. We got to let go of our pride. We got to let go of that anger. We got to let go of that frustration, that envy, or any type of emotions that we feel that's stopping us from forgiving this person, stopping us from letting go, stopping us from taking that chance, that risk, whatever the case is. Like, that's what I'm saying. So let's just understand that as a whole and just take a little bit of the knowledge that I said, or if you got anything from what I said today, let's just take that and move forward in our life and try to apply it and change. If we were having big egos or we were being too prideful, let's try to change that. Because I I just want us to live every single day better than we lived yesterday. So it could be one tiny step. It could be one change. But I'd rather have a minor change than another big problem or another negative energy that I transitioned to today from yesterday. Y'all get what I'm saying? So it's the little things, because the little things can be big things, because sometimes little things in a relationship are actually big things to the other person, right? It might be little to you, but it's big to me, right? Right? So let's treat that the same way with changes in our life. It might be a little change, but it's going to make a big effect, right? The change that it's going to make in your life is going to be humongous. It could be a little change, but it's going to be a big change in your life. So praise the little steps. Don't be too prideful out here. Watch your ego. Don't have no self-altering ego that you're losing your identity in the process. And don't be too full of yourself, man. And stop being so prideful in this world. All right. Topic of discussion. I'll be back for another episode tomorrow. I hope you guys learned something from today. And again, I'm your host, Miles Berry. Topic of discussion. We out of here.